Yes, we'll continue. So the next topic is quality control. Quality control. We have two standards in this chapter, SQC and SA 220. So SQC talks about quality control for firms which are performing audit, review, other assurance and related services. Remember, heading has to be very accurate. 1 mark will be there for heading. Always, for all standard questions, either half mark or 1 mark will be allocated for heading only. Okay, so now, so SQC 1. Some students know they missed to put this word 1. I don't know what hurry they are going with. So say SQC 1 you put full. Okay, then quality control for firms. What works we will provide as a firm? Audit, review of historical financial information, and we also provide what works? Other assurance services and related services. So general sentence only, they kept it as a heading. Now, what SQC requires? They have to, SQC says very simple, establish policies and procedures, establish a system of quality control. Why you need to establish quality control system? So that the work performed by you is as per standards, the work performed by you is as per legal requirements, and the reports which you are issuing is appropriate. In order to make sure your reports are appropriate, in order to make sure your work is complying with standards, legal and regulatory requirements. And remember, the standard is applicable for all firms, whether it's a partnership firm or a sole proprietor firm or individual practicing chartered accountant, doesn't matter, regardless of structure. Policies must be documented, communicated and encouraging feedback. So your team members has to continuously give a feedback on this quality control. Now, what are the elements of quality control? There are 6 elements of quality control: leadership responsibilities, ethical requirements, acceptance and continuation of client relationship, HR management, and engagement performance and monitoring. Now, leadership responsibilities for quality. You know, CEO, the firm CEO or managing partner, they have ultimate responsibility for the quality control system. They must take up the ultimate responsibility. The firm must foster a culture where quality is essential. And expertise, individuals responsible for quality control, whoever is having, like in firms, some partner will be delegated for quality control tasks, who has to develop, establish documented policies, all that. The person who is delegated with quality control works, he must have necessary experience, ability and authority. And see that management responsibilities don't compromise quality, and continuously you do a performance evaluation where the emphasis is on quality and sufficient resources are dedicated to quality control policies. The partner has to be delegated with some resources, some staff must be delegated, technical resources must be delegated. Only then quality control policies can be developed properly. And finally, ultimately, the business strategy must prioritize quality, which is a non-negotiable thing. When you're accepting a client, quality must be the ultimate focus. If you think you cannot deliver the proper service, you should not accept the client. So the business strategy must be aligned with a quality oriented approach. That's it. This is regarding leadership responsibilities for quality. Ethical requirements. Next one, in the recent May 25, this familiarity threat is asked. In the recent May 25, this familiarity threat, HR, both together combined, and they asked one question. I'll show you. Next, what is ethical requirement? Firm has to establish policies and procedures so that all fundamental principles are complied. Remember, what are the fundamental principles? Fundamental principles has to be emphasized via leadership, training, monitoring, and addressing non-compliances. So independence is most important for almost all engagements except some related services. Then, and the firm and personnel must comply with independence, yes or no, including the experts whom we contacted, including the network firms. So comply with independence means what? In code of ethics we have some network guidelines, we have remuneration guidelines, we have, like firm cannot charge fees for other services more than audit fee. That and all ethical responsibilities only. Understood? And the firm has to get an annual confirmation of independence from all the personnel inside the staff, like inside the firm, their partners, team, everybody. So we need to get an annual written confirmation that every one of them have complied with independence policies or not. Now, firm has to communicate, policies should enable communication of requirements, identification or addressing of threat. So the firm has to develop policies and processes for ethical requirements in such a way these policies are communicated rightly and feedback is also taken and then rectified these policies time to time. Next, familiarity. There is a safeguard that the firm has to apply. Senior personnel or quality control reviewer has to be rotated at appropriate interval, because long-term use of senior personnel can impair performance of the audit, especially for listed entities. Engagement partner must be rotated after every 7 years, and moreover, whenever a listed entity audit has to be accepted, the firm must have a peer review certificate, only then they can accept. Are you clear? This particular topic was asked. This weightage is 3 marks in the recent May 25. And another question what they asked, in this regard, what are engagement partner responsibilities? In this regard, what are engagement partner responsibilities? Here it is there. Engagement partner responsibilities. The firm must clearly define and communicate engagement partner responsibilities. The partner must have capability, competence, authority, and time. And there is another point. There are 2 points here. There is another point. The role of engagement partner must be communicated to top management of the entity. Are you getting it? Any 2 points if read, that will be sufficient. So this was asked for 2 marks. Total 5 marks question on that. Understood? What are the responsibilities of engagement partner? So that's what they asked here. Next. And the engagement partner reports threats to independence and any breaches, everything, so that action will be taken by the firm top management. So engagement partner has to report threats, breaches identified by him to the firm, so that the firm will take a proper action. So this is what ethical requirements related matter is all about. Next, acceptance and continuation of client relationship. Before you accept a client, you need to check 3 important things. 1, integrity of the client, competence of our firm to perform the engagement, whether we are complying with ethical requirements or not. See, you can accept a client only when you're ethically fit. Ethically fit means what? Disqualifications, code of ethics related, so many things that you need to check. Second one, competence you need to check. 3, integrity. Client has to be good first. That also you should check. Now, integrity of the client. What you will check regarding integrity? This itself can be asked as a 4 marks question. Integrity. What is the reputation of owners and management? What is the nature of business? What is their attitude toward accounting standards and internal controls? Are the low fee seeking clients? Just check out. Are they trying to put low fees for you? Check out. And scope limitations. Are the client involved in money laundering activities or criminal activities? Check out. Okay, and reasons for appointment and replacement of the, why the company is approaching me, why they're replacing the previous auditor. Check all these reasons so that you will understand integrity of the client. Next, competence. Not only client integrity, you must have the ability to perform that engagement. So see whether your personnel have knowledge about the industry and regulatory. See, you have sufficient capability. See, you have availability of experts. Moreover, suppose for the first time we are doing listed company audit, see whether engagement quality control review is available or not in our firm, and whether can we meet with the timelines and deadlines which client is asking for. All these points you should check. This is regarding competence, availability of resources, capabilities, all that. Then obviously you need to check ethical requirements. Now, suppose if there is any conflict of interest when you are checking integrity, all this, there is some conflict you identified. What auditor has to do? Conflict must be resolved before accepting the work. Suppose after accepting new information you got. If at all you know this information, you would have declined this work earlier itself. After accepting, you got information. If at all you know this before, you would have declined it. Then consider what are the legal responsibilities that you have in this scenario, and consider whether withdrawal is possible. Consider whether withdrawal is required or not. Suppose if withdrawal is required, there must be policies for withdrawal. This was asked in November 24 exam. Okay, what are the November 24 or May 24? Somewhere it was asked. So, if at all an exceptional situation encounters, okay, if at all an exceptional situation encounter where the firm has to withdraw, the firm quality control policies must provide guidance on withdrawal. So what are policies for withdrawal? Policies include, policies must tell you these points. You have to discuss with the client management. You have to discuss reasons for withdrawal. You have to consider reporting requirements. You have to document key issues and conclusions. Reporting requirements on withdrawal means what? Reporting to RBI. So in case of banks, reporting to, withdrawal is nothing but resignation. ADT3 in ROC. Yes or no? So all these you need to report. You have, most importantly, you have to report to concerned management regarding withdrawal. So these are the policies and procedures for withdrawal. Are you clear? Now tell me, you need to check integrity of the client, you need to check competence, you need to check ethical. When you should do this? Before accepting a new client, or when deciding to continue an existing client, or when accepting a new work from existing client. In all these 3 scenarios, you should take all this information. Clear? Acceptance and continuation of client relationship is also completed. Next, human resources. Remember, you must have a policies so that your firm is always having sufficient personnel. Not only number, they must have capability, they must have competence, they must have commitment for ethical principles. So your policies must address almost every HR issue, right from recruitment, compensation, training them, career development, performance evaluation, increments, everything should cover. Next, you should assign a responsibility to an engagement partner. Whenever you are taking any work for any engagement, that engagement work has to be delegated to one specific partner, and that engagement partner, whoever is there, the partner, whoever is monitoring that engagement, you call him as what? Engagement partner. What are responsibilities of engagement partner? His responsibilities must be clearly defined. His responsibilities must be clearly communicated to the partner, and his responsibilities must be communicated to the client management, and the partner must have capability, competence, authority, and time. Next, performance. SS, performance of the partners and team members based on commitment to quality. This entirely talks about HR related requirement. Clear? Next, engagement performance. Another important element in quality control is what? Performing the work. When you are performing the work, see, you can achieve consistency in quality. Like, in any work, in any engagement that we take, consistency can be achieved only by briefing the team on objectives. What is the objective of this work, so that they can comply with engagement standards. You need to supervise and review the performance of the work and documenting that work. So consistency in quality is achieved through this. Itself can be asked as a 3 marks. How consistency can be achieved? By briefing the team about what work it is, what is the objective of the work, what are the processes to be performed, and supervising them, reviewing whatever they are performing, and documenting the work. All this I need to check. Further, remember, in the firm, whenever the work is going on, there must be a culture where consultation should take place. So discuss complex matters with specialized knowledge individuals. There may be internal people or external people, yes or no. All consultations and results must be documented. Proper consultation must take place on complex matters. That's what the wordings will be there actually. Next, further, EQCR, engagement quality control review. Especially significant judgments must be reviewed by quality control reviewer before the report is issued. Now, moreover, this is mandatory for listed entities audit. Listed entities, that to which engagement it is mandatory? Audit engagements only, engagement quality control review is mandatory. Very simple. As a partner, I directed my team, I supervised my team, I documented, entire work is over. I decided to give unqualified opinion. But before you give a report, ask another partner to do a quality control review. Ask another partner to do a quality control review. What is a quality control review? He will see my working papers and verify whether I worked as per standards, whether documentation is as per standards, whether my judgments are as per standards. Now, this quality control review is optional for various audits and other engagements. But for listed company audit engagement, quality control review is compulsory. Who should be the quality control reviewer? Who should be a quality control? Who is a quality control reviewer? Who should be? He must be a qualified person. Okay, he may be internal or he may be external who reviews engagement quality. He must be objective and he should not participate in engagement decisions. And policies must allow replacing EQCR if objectivity is compromised. For example, in a partnership firm, there are only 2 partners. One partner will do audit, another partner will review this partner's work, or this partner will do quality control review for other partners. When audit team members are getting any doubts, they can consult any of the partner. Can audit team member consult quality control reviewer? Yeah, he can consult, making sure that quality control reviewer is not actively involved in the engagement. So you can give consultation. Suppose if the consultation is to such extent where quality control reviewer objectivity gets compromised, the firm policies must provide for replacement of the quality control reviewer. That's what the matter, because there is a practical question on this. Clear? Next, now what engagement quality control reviewer? EQCR, just because quality control reviewer is reviewing, that does not reduce your engagement partner responsibility. EQCR does not reduce partner's responsibility. Partner responsibility remains intact. It is just like a second opinion. Before I sign the report, you just see once whether the points which I could not identify, you may identify. For that reason only. Next, in case of listed entity, EQC, quality control review in listed entity, what it includes? Team's independent evaluation. The first and foremost thing in listed entity is independence evaluation. Okay, and significant risks, materiality judgments, review of consultations or differences, communications with managements, working paper reviews of significant judgment. These are all various things in quality control review the reviewer will review. So what quality control reviewer will review? These are all points he will review in case of listed entities. Clear? Suppose after the review is over, EQCR is differing with partner. Partner said unqualified opinion, EQCR is saying qualified opinion for so and so reasons. If there is a difference of opinion, it must be resolved before the report is issued. Suppose if the review recommendation is not accepted by partner, matter has to be resolved by firm policies and processes. See what firm policies are saying. The firm policies general in this scenario, what they say, consult a network firm, consult another firm, and accordingly decide. Next, engagement documentation. The final step in engagement performance is what? Documentation. So the final engagement files must be completed within 60 days in case of audit engagement. The firm has to establish a deadline for documentation. For audit it is 60 days. For other engagements the firm has to set the criteria. Next, the documentation has to ensure confidentiality, integrity, accessibility and retrieval. Further, remember, these are all the documentation is property of the firm. The documentation is retained for 7 years from the date of audit report or group audit report, whichever is later. Next, EQCR documentation. What EQCR shall document? See, partner will anyhow document. EQCR also shall document. This itself can be asked as a 3 marks question. Now, what EQCR shall document? What processes he performed, whether the review is completed before the report date, what proof is there that the review is completed before report date, and see that there are no unresolved matters where some challenges are there. Okay. Next, monitoring, the last element in quality control. So what is the objective of monitoring? Objective is to ensure that the quality control system which is already designed, implemented by the firm is still relevant, still updated. So quality control system is relevant or not? Is it effective or not? Is it compliant with the legal standards, regulatory standards, all that or not? And that's why what firms will do, they do periodic inspection. What periodic inspection? What we do in periodic inspection? Whatever audits that we complete in the last 1 year, we open that and we check whether they are all compliant as per standards on auditing, whether they are all compliant as per law and regulation. We will check it. If any deficiencies we identify, we will communicate to the firm top personnel, and then they will re-verify their quality control policies and update it. Now, what will be there in monitoring? Monitoring involves evaluating design and implementation. I think this was asked in number 24, monitoring. I think, yeah, this was asked in number 24. The another one which I told was asked in May 24 or that before attempt. Okay. Now, what monitoring involves? Evaluating design and implementation of quality control policies, ensuring the policies are updated as per latest standards, assigning responsibility to experienced individuals in order for developing the policies, addressing complaints and taking remedial actions. All these issues are addressed in monitoring policies. Clear? Next. Then 220. What is 220? Quality control for audit of financial statements. Remember, SQC talks about establishing policies. 220 talks about implementing those policies in audits. 220 is only talking about what? Implementing the quality control policies which are established under SQC. As per SQC, the firm has established. Implementing them in audit. That is what discussed under 220. So, now what 220 says, engagement partner is responsible for quality control procedures implementation. And engagement team must implement applicable quality control and provides independence information. Teams will rely on the firm's quality control when they are working on. Next, objective. It's okay. Objective is very simple. Quality control objective is what? To ensure that the engagements performed were as per law, standards and regulation, and the reports issued are appropriate. Whereas SCA 220, they talk about audit. Instead of engagement, they use the word audit. To ensure that the audit is performed as per standards on auditing, legal and regulatory requirement, and ensure that audit report issued is appropriate. Next, elements. Same elements will be there. Next, leadership responsibility. Engagement partner must emphasize the following: importance of audit and quality is essential. Importance of audit, quality, what does it mean? Engagement partner, specifically his actions should demonstrate. Engagement partner actions should emphasize compliance with the standards, compliance with firm policies. Engagement partner behave in such a way that team will raise questions without any issues, without any concerns, and issue appropriate report. So engagement partner action should emphasize all this. His actions should indicate that compliance with quality control policies is must, compliance with standards is must, team can raise concerns without any fear, and issue appropriate reports. Ultimately, quality is essential. This should be represented, this should be demonstrated by behavior of the engagement partner. That's it. Next, ethical requirements. Engagement partner, he should only identify independence related threats and see that safeguards are implemented. Report independence issues to the firm and take appropriate action. If at all safeguards are not adequate, if at all a proper adequate safeguards could not be implemented, whatever independence related breaches has to be intimated to the firm and then documented. Next, acceptance and continuation. Engagement partner must assess before accepting a new client or before deciding to continue with an existing client, integrity and competence, ethical compliance, whatever SQC matter is that itself you can write here. Next, Assignment of team. Ensure that the team members in the audit and the experts whom the engagement team contacted, they are competent, capable, so that the work is performed as per standards and law. Then engagement performance. Engagement partner must ensure the direction, supervision, performance are as per standards. Audit reports are appropriate. He should only review documentation for whether adequate evidences are there for conclusions, and see that proper consultations are taken place on difficult and complex matters. So in engagement partner, engagement performance, the partner has to ensure that this itself can be asked as a 4 marks question. Next, engagement quality control review for listed entities and others. Others means what? Others which are decided by firm quality control policies. Okay, for listed entity audits and other audits which firm policies decided. Okay, the engagement partner must appoint a reviewer, discuss significant matters with reviewer, do not date the audit report until review gets completed. For listed entities, engagement partner specifically has to consider team's independence, whether consultation taken place on contentious, nothing but complex matters, documentation of work done, judgments made and conclusions reached. All these engagement partner has to review. Further, reviewer will evaluate significant judgments, discussing significant matters, review audit documentation, evaluate audit report appropriateness. Then finally, difference of opinion, it must be resolved before report issuance. If reviewer recommendation is not accepted, follow firm policies like consulting another firm or consulting network firm, so that the difference of opinion will be resolved. And monitoring, quality control system monitoring. What is monitoring purpose? The purpose is to ensure the policies are still relevant, still adequate, still effective. Engagement partner must consider monitoring results. Monitoring results means what? In the current year audit, whatever you are doing, for last year audits related, some monitoring result was there. Like in last year in various clients audits, our firm has identified deficiencies. Those deficiencies consider, so that they will not repeat in the current year audit. So engagement partner must consider monitoring results of the last year and whether deficiencies affect the current audit engagement, and check and update accordingly quality control policies for the current audits. That's it. 220 is also completed. And finally, documentation. By partner, what he should document? He should document whatever issues that were arising on ethical requirement. He should document what he concluded regarding independence, what he concluded regarding acceptance and continuation, what are all issues he faced while accepting the client, and nature, scope and conclusions from consultations. What are all consultations have taken place internally, so that and all he has to document. Reviewer also has to document certain things, what review procedures he performed, and fact, proof that review is completed before the audit report date, and there are no unresolved matters questioning judgments and conclusions. Auditor, reviewer has to document a proof that there are no matters which are left. Okay. And what is the difference between SQC1 and SQC SA220? It applies to entire firm, whereas it is applicable to engagement. CEO is ultimately responsible. Here, engagement partner is responsible. It applies to every type of engagement. It applies only to audit engagement. It relates to setting up the system. It relates to implementing the procedures. Yes or no? So ultimate objective is it provides assurance that firm and personnel comply with standards and reports issued are appropriate. Whereas SA220 is prepared based on SQC1. Clear? Without SQC1, you know, here the sign no, SQC1 is a fundamental. This is nothing but fundamental to SA220. So next, you know, there are various other mechanisms for quality control review. Peer review is there, quality review is there, NFRA, audit quality review, we call it as audit quality review, whereas in quality review board we simply call it as quality review and peer review. There are 3 different types of reviews that are there. Now, so peer review board, you know, all these reviews happens after audit report date, whereas quality control review by engagement quality control reviewer happens before date of audit report. Now, peer review objective is ultimately to ensure technical professional ethical standard, TPE we call it as technical professional ethical standards, are they complied or not. Purpose, to enhance the work quality. Process, they verify assurance engagement records, nothing but working papers. Scope, review systems and procedures in practicing units, nothing but firms, for compliance with all TPE standards. Quality control review, which is performed by quality review board. Their main objective is recommend improvement to ICA members, review quality of services and guide members to improve the quality. So they review and improve quality of service, including audit quality for companies. You know, they select quality control review files based on risk-based approach. and they review audit services for entities outside NFRA scope. Wherever NFRA is having scope for certain class of companies, listed companies, banks, insurance companies, and their subsidiaries, no, NFRA can only NFRA can do quality control review. Wherever NFRA has the power to review those companies, quality review board do not have the power. That's it. And that's what limitation, cannot review services for entities which are under NFRA purview. NFRA, what is the objective of the NFRA? Monitor and enforce. They can monitor and enforce companies so that they comply with accounting standards, and audit firms to comply with auditing standards. They oversee quality of auditing for compliance, and they can investigate audit services. Purpose, they monitor and ensure audit quality for listed companies, insurance, banks, and specified companies. Scope, review audit services for specific companies. NFRA rules governs how the quality review will be conducted. NFRA investigates and enforces compliance for specified companies, may take even enforcement actions, and the review and investigation can even lead to regulatory actions. Limitations, NFRA handles companies such as listed companies, banks, and all. QRB cannot review these services. Whatever the other companies audit services, QRB cannot, QRB can review only other companies. NFRA can only review listed companies, banks, insurance companies, and their subsidiary companies. That's it. So with this, yes, quality control chapter is completed. Decent, fine, okay. That's it. 5 minutes, we'll start this gap related chapter. In this, 240, 250 predominant standards and 402 is there. These are the 3 predominant standards in this chapter. That's it. We'll finish that.